Hi teachers, this is lesson 1.2 of Unit 4 of the Middle School ENL Standalone curriculum. So the week 1 theme is learning from struggle. This is the second day of the week, and this is continuing to work with Laura's Key, so the literary text that students started in lesson 1.1. So students are going to continue looking at theme and how words and phrases impact meaning and tone. Students will start with the opening do now routine, a see, think, wonder. After that, they will get into a think, pair, share, followed by reading the next part of the text. After the reading, they'll participate in a text rendering exercise and wrapping up with an extend the learning to practice writing a claim. So the parts of this lesson that may be the most challenging, depending on the structure of your current class, are the think, pair, share, and the text rendering. For this lesson, there is a worksheet that students can follow along with in the video adapted resources folder for this week. So this takes all of the writing and discussion questions and gives students a place to plan. So to prepare for the discussion on their think, pair, share, they can write their responses to the questions here. And for the text rendering for the 3 rounds, students can feel prepared and have a place to write down what they're going to say in the discussion. So this would be particularly helpful for a remote setting, but this could also very easily be printed out if you are teaching in person. Moving back to the closing and connecting, extend the learning is definitely a crucial part of this week because it's connected to day 5. So students will practice writing a claim. You can definitely add the extend the learning as well as any of these other activities to whatever student-facing document you're using, whether it's the one in the video adapted resources folder or something that you've created on your own. And that way students will have a place to catch all their thoughts from this lesson and to look back at before they continue with the week and before lesson 5. All right, so with that, let's get started. All right, let's start our lesson together. So week 1, day 2 of the unit Growing Stronger this week is learning from struggle. Our essential question is, do success and winning always look the same? We'll continue reading the text Laura's Key today, and we'll work with the following objectives. If someone can read those objectives out loud. Awesome. To analyze the development of the central idea or theme in a text, and to explore how words or phrases are used in a text to shape the meaning or tone. All right, students, it's time to get our brains activated and ready to work. So for our do now today, we are going to look at this image and figure out what we see, what we think, and what we wonder about this picture. There's some sentence starters for you right there. So go ahead and write this down wherever your teacher is having you collect answers today. Pause the video now. All right, welcome back. You might have said that you see some trees. I definitely saw those. You might have thought, what happens here in this lot? Or wondered what happens here in this lot. And maybe you thought this is a parking lot or this is where a house used to be. Lots of different things. Make sure to share your answers with your teacher and with your class because I'm sure everyone had some different ones. Today we're going to do a think, pair, share. So we're going to look at this section that we read in the last lesson. I'm going to read it out loud now. Walking to the car after the last game of the season, Laura tried to smile at her mother. Having spent yet another game sitting on the bench, Laura hadn't even broken a sweat. "Well, at least you don't have to wash my uniform," she joked, but she could feel tears in her eyes. So now we're going to engage in some discussion. You're going to work with a partner and answer the following things. Which words or phrases in this section really show us Laura's emotions? So how do we know what she's feeling after reading this? And finally, share your ideas on how Laura might change in the rest of the story, and how the author might show that character development. So when we see a character change and evolve, we call that character development. So we're developing a character, we're learning more about them. So please go ahead and pause now so you can have that discussion with your partner. And then we will pick right back up to get into more reading. Please pause the video now. All right, I hope you were able to share which words or phrases you thought showed Laura's emotions, which ones told you what she was feeling, and how you thought Laura might change throughout the rest of the story. So setting the purpose, today we're continuing our short story, Laura's Key. As we read this section, pay attention to how the author shows or depicts Laura's improvement. So the word depicts just is another word for shows. It's just a little bit more fancy. All right, so now it's time to get into the text. So you're going to listen to a recording of the text and respond to the guiding questions at the end. Next, you'll work on the discussion questions with your class, and after that, we will come back together for another activity. So go ahead and pause the video so you can listen to the recording, complete the guiding questions, and complete the discussion questions with your class. And you can come back once you've finished up those discussion questions with your class. Pause now. All right. So we've got another activity to do. So we are going to do a text rendering exercise. So what that means is we're going to use the text to answer a variety of questions. So in a few rounds, we're going to discuss with our class. The first round, we're going to share one word or phrase from today's text that we think shows Laura's emotions or inner thoughts, or what we might call her characterization. In the next round, we're going to choose and share one sentence that we think best indicates that Laura is showing improvement, that she's getting better. And in the last round, we're going to pick one sentence that someone else shared and connect it to Laura's success. This is super similar to discussion question 2 from when you discussed with your class a few moments ago. So if you're stuck on this one, go ahead and look back at that one. I'm sure you guys are going to have an awesome conversation with your class, so go ahead and pause the video here so you can go ahead and have that discussion about what we see in Laura's emotions and sentences that we think indicate that she's showing improvement. Pause now. All right, we've done a lot of great work today. Now it's time to wrap up. So you might be answering a variety of these questions based on what your teacher has asked you to do, but the one that we're going to look at together is this one. So we are going to practice writing a claim. So, in my opinion, the blank should use blank, lots to blank. So looking back at the connect to the text question, that might make a little bit more sense. So do you see any vacant lots in your neighborhood? What should the community do about them? So you're going to answer what you think the community should use vacant lots for. So you're going to fill in that sentence, and this is really going to help you out on day 5. So make sure that you give this one your best shot.